Hello, I'm Gregory Lyons. I recently watched an episode of Piers Morgan on CNN where his guest was Alex Jones of Infowars.com.
Anyone who's watched this show over the past few weeks knows I've taken a pretty strong stand on guns in America.
Piers Morgan had a one-note agenda: ban semi-assault rifles from American citizens' ownership. Alex Jones came prepared to make full use of this national platform, and like an automatic weapon fired a barrage of questions of Piers Morgan. Questions that unfortunately went predictably unanswered.
Don't want to talk about the U.S. #1 cause of death is suicide now.
Why are so many Americans committing suicide?
To the subject.
America's #1 cause of unnatural death now is suicide.
Okay.
I want to get people off pills that the insert says will make you commit suicide and kill people.
Alex.
Why are pharmaceutical companies producing antidepressants with such devastating side effects?
How about Prozac? You know the #1, oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it? Or that whole class of drugs.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, got to cut that off, don't you?
Calm down.
Your answer is give more money to the psychiatrists and psychologists to put more crazy people on drugs that make them kill people, Piers.
Why are most of the killers in these horrendous attacks all on these same aforementioned prescription drugs?
While the government buys 1.6 billion bullets.
Why is the United States Department of Homeland Security buying billions of hollow point shells? Who are they shooting with those?
Come.
Who do you believe was behind 9/11?
Why was 9/11 never thoroughly, seriously investigated?
You don't like this right now.
Do you mean that President Bush and his administration were behind 9/11? Who do you believe?
New Yorkers all saw it and heard it.
Alex, who do you
They
believe?
blew up Building 7.
Alex.
Oh, I absolutely know. I have the police on CNN saying, get back, they're going to blow up 7. Why'd they blow up Building 7 down the street here in New York?
Why do most Americans not even know that World Trade Center Building 7 collapsed upon itself 8 hours after the alleged attacks of 9/11?
So the Bush administration was part of a conspiracy
well,
to
he
murder,
should never let us tolerate
thousands of Americans.
Why do street gangs continue to victimize so many people?
How many gun murders were there in America last year, do you know?
There were about 11,458, and about 74% of those were gang-related, gangbangers shooting each other. The Second Amendment isn't there for duck hunting. It's there to protect us from tyrannical government and street thugs.
Why do we call this country a democracy when it's so obvious that we live under a blatant fascist regime?
Armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, predator drones, armed.
Why does President Obama continue to terrorize Pakistan with U.S. military drone missile strikes, killing civilians, children, women?
Your belief, unless I'm wrong, is that under the Second Amendment, your real concern is that you will be overrun by a tyrannical regime.
Why are fringe citizens like Alex Jones so paranoid about being killed by their own government?
Governments have staged terror attacks throughout history or allowed terrorists to attack as a pretext to invade and enslave the populations. U.S. Army uses.
Why do people need them?
They need them to protect us from the #1 killer in history. Government in the 20th century, university study out of Hawaii killed 292 million people. It's called democide. Google it, folks.
Why are not more Americans asking these very same questions? Why do Hollywood performers condemn gun violence but continue to make films that glorify the guns? I'm not here to defend semi-automatic rifles. We do not need killing machines.
Do you believe everyone in America should everyone in America therefore have an AR-15 if they want one?
We do, however, need to defend ourselves from armed criminals who would invade our homes or attack us on the streets. The final, most important question: why do so many Americans remain blissfully ignorant of these topics? These questions went and continue to go unanswered by CNN, Piers Morgan, or any mainstream media. And when people like Alex Jones have the nerve to ask these questions, they're labeled conspiracy theorists, paranoid, or just plain insane. Why?
The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand?
question authority. Truth is the only authority.